Got to get this one down here. This one down here. All right. Okay, start streaming. Let's see if that's working. Connecting. There we go. That works. That works. That works. And that works. Good evening. Good evening. Tashikfluence. Tashikfluence. Okay. Trodan, Steph, what's going on? All right. Good evening. Good evening. Alrighty. Good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader. Okay. Now, the name alone should give you an inclination of what we're doing here. Dividend Stock Talk. Dividend stocks is what we're looking for. RK, Rocket Mortgage, oh hell no. Rocket Mortgage hasn't been around for 20 years. How could it possibly have 2 decades of profits? Now, I'm looking for 2 decades. That's 20 years of profits. Oh, Applied Materials. Absolutely. Let's do that. Applied Materials first on the list. AMAT. Okay, so what I'm looking for specifically, and I hope you guys help me out, and let's try to be courteous. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. This is all voluntary. You don't really need to be here. So if you're not going to be polite, I just assume you leave. You know, it is what it is. We're all adults, so let's act like it if we can. So I'm going to show you for free. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. There's not going to be any pitch at the end of the evening. Trust me, I'm not going to sell you anything. Don't trust me. Don't trust anybody online. That's a silly thing to say. But I'm not. I'm not going to sell you anything. We're all adults. We know how it works. If you want to buy something that I've done, go to the bio, search the website, that kind of stuff. Here is just education only. I'm creating a video dialogue, a video diary for my children and my grandchildren. And you just so happen to be here to observe it and participate. Okay, so what I'm looking to do is share with you a trading strategy that I created for my 9-year-old daughter. Okay, in 2008, in 2008, my 9-year-old daughter says to me, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? That's what my 9-year-old daughter said to me in 2008. Not, Daddy, can we go buy me a dress? Daddy, can I get this new haircut? Daddy, can you get me this? No, Daddy, can you teach me? 9-year-old little girl wanted to learn how to trade stocks. Now, the tricky thing about that is most adults don't even know how to do it. Most adults, you can ask anyone, most adults have no clue what to do in the stock market. Very few. So my 9-year-old wants to learn. So here, trying to be a responsible father, I want to create a trading strategy specifically for her. So here's my challenge. 9 years old. Had to be simple. It had to be safe, predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. Now, we all know why that number 5 is there, no way for her to lose, because a 9-year-old little girl starts losing her money. Guess what? She's going to be mad. She's going to be upset. Daddy's going to be the bad guy. Well, I'm going to feel like crap. Then mama gets involved. What happens when mama gets involved? Little baby girl's unhappy? Yeah, daddy's sleeping on the couch. For you guys, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That being said, so simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way for her to lose. So in order to create a trading strategy for her, I came up with 5 rules. Simple rules. I used them myself. Number 1, a lot of people go wrong on number 1. Never pick a stock that you do not want to own long-term or you do not understand what they do. You should understand everything about a company before you put your money into it. That's number 1. Number 2, never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose of the whole game. And yes, it is a game. Just like Monopoly is a game where you buy 4 red houses, 4 green houses, 1 red hotel. Go around a few times, rack up a few bucks. That's the same thing. The stock market is a game for adults. We invest our money. We put it someplace we believe to be safe. We believe that it's going to benefit us at some time in the future. Okay. Rule number 3. This is one most people get wrong, in my humble opinion. Rule number 3 is make sure the company is consistently profitable. Do you hear that? Consistently profitable. If I'm going to give my money to some stranger, because who really knows the CEO, the CFO, the CMO, all those people? Who knows those people really? Seriously. So you're going to put your money, I'm going to put my money into a company that I believe is consistently profitable for, this is one people always get wrong, 2 decades. Now, when I'm holding up 2 fingers and I say 2 decades, that does not mean 2 months, does not mean 2 quarters, does not mean 2 years. It means 2 decades. That's 20 years. 20 years of consistent profit for them to earn my money. Now, stock market's been around for 400 years. So 20 years should really not be that difficult. And believe me, there are plenty of companies out there that are over 50 years old. They're over 100 years old. So why not invest in just those companies? They're safe. Because think of it this way. What has the U.S. economy seen in the last 100 years? World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Great Depression, stock market crash at 29, 87, 2000, 2008, 2021, 2025. Whatever. We've seen a lot of crap. Yet these companies, handful of companies, still consistently profitable. Why not? Now, just in case you didn't know, if you're here looking for tips, looking for advice, the advice I give is nothing to do with what stocks to buy. I'll tell you simple stuff like, don't stick your head out too far. It might go home in another car. Hey, I'll give that advice to you. But no, I don't give advice. I don't give tips. I will take a look at whatever you want to look at. But consistently profitable. Rule number 4, weekly options only. Now, if you remember the title of the show, Dividend Stock Talk, that's the title. The subtitle is Dividend Investing for Weekly Cash Flow. Not once in there does it say a company pays weekly dividends. I don't know if any company pays weekly dividends. I like to invest in dividend stocks to earn weekly cash flow. And to do that, I use stock options, specifically a covered call. It's simple, it's easy, it's safe, and it's predictable. Rule number 5, make sure all the numbers work. Now, I'm going to get an example for each one of those rules, each one of those criteria as the evening progresses. Now, I'm going to be here till 11. Ask whatever questions you like. I promise I'll try to get to every single question. But remember a few things. Number 1, you're not the only person here. Okay, there are 9 different platforms. So I'm broadcasting on 9 different platforms. So if I don't get to your question right away, I apologize. I will try to get to as many as I possibly can. Now, I do know there are some websites where I cannot communicate with you, and that I apologize. Now, we have TikTok. That is the easiest one. Simple, easy. You can actually see everything right there in front of the screen. That's the easiest one. Okay, YouTube, not so easy. Facebook, not so easy. So on and so forth, all the other companies. But we're going to go through each and every single not snare. Don't get old. Seriously. Okay, I'm 61 years old. Okay, I'm actually going this month to the Social Security office so I can start the paperwork. Because from what I understand, it takes weeks in order to get it done. So I get to collect Social Security in January. So, yep, I got to start the paperwork this month. That being said, the money I have accumulated in my working life has to pay for my living expenses. Okay? So, whatever you think, however much money you think I have, I probably don't. I have enough to live comfortably. Now, comfortably is different for everybody. $5,000 a month might be comfortable for you. $10,000 a month might not be enough. We're all different. We're all on a different journey. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Just because the guy next door bought a brand new car doesn't make you less of a person. Okay? We're all on our own separate journeys. We all have our own goals. We all have our own, what do you call that? Risk factors. So what's good for me might not be good for you. Now, I'm not going to hold any punches, okay? So I'm a Gen Xer. We really don't care about your feelings. Honestly, there's no safe space. If you say something stupid, I'm going to call you out on it. Okay? When you want me to take a look at something such as yield max funds, I'm going to say, hell no, what the hell's the matter with you? Anthony, seriously, have you checked out all the numbers for yield max? Any one of their funds? Seriously, check out how often have they increased year after year after year after year their dividends. Because a dividend is a portion of the company's profits. If the company's consistently profitable, well, their dividends will increase year after year after year. And the reason, I get this question all the time, James, why do you only do dividend stocks? Because dividend stocks are consistent, they're predictable, And they do the same things over and over and over again. So if you knew a company is going to do the same thing over and over and over again, well, that's one little tidbit of information in your favor. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to stack all the odds and probabilities in my favor because contrary to popular belief, I don't have the luxury of being wrong. Isn't that something weird to say? I don't have the luxury of being wrong, which means you might see me if I'm wrong. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Walmart. Would that be paper or plastic? No, that is not me. Okay, I was the CEO in my former life when I actually had a manufacturing company and I had employees. Could you imagine that? Me being the boss? No, I can't imagine that either. But anyway, let's go. So you guys are going to give me stocks to take a look at. I'm going to take a look at them. I'm going to give you my opinion based on the trading strategy I specifically put together for my 9-year-old daughter. Okay, so remember that. If you can't understand what I'm trying to say, ask your question in another fashion. Okay, if you don't really understand it, get your kids to come in and listen to what I say. It took my daughter 15 minutes to understand everything. 15 minutes. And she wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. As a matter of fact, if it's working tonight, it didn't work last night, but let's check tonight, see if I can introduce you to the little princess. By the way, she hates that. I'm not a princess. Yeah, well, you're my daughter, you're my princess, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. Okay, so here's the website, The10MinuteTrader. You'll see everything. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week, nightly training, 9 p.m. Why isn't this thing moving? We had the same problem last night. There it is. There it is. Okay, now we're going to go over to YouTube to see the video. Now, I was just informed recently that we have, hold on, it's going to pop up and I'm going to show it to you. I was amazed myself when I saw this. 1,300 videos I have. That means I've been doing this for a while. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to the videos, okay, and we're going to look at the oldest videos, right there, the oldest ones. And here she is right there. Here's the little princess. Let's show you and introduce you to her.
And as you being part of the internet website company, which my dad like to call that.
That's what I do. Being part of that, you're going to be getting weekly lists of stocks that I'll be trading, and every month you'll be getting 4 lists of stocks that you can choose from that help you get the best return on your money.
Now, of course, this was quite a while ago.
List number 1.
Okay, and here's me. Look at all the hair. Oh my goodness.
What does that mean? That means every single day you can buy a different stock. Every single day there's a different.
Here's my favorite part. Yay! Okay, so here's the thing. Trying to teach a 9-year-old to trade stocks, I had to make it fun and exciting for my daughter. Now, this was about 15 years ago. Look at all that hair. Oh my God, not a bit of gray either. Oh, I wish I was that old again. Damn it. Anyway. All right, so there's plenty of videos for you guys to go back and look. And you'll see, I basically see the exact same things over and over and over again. Let's go up to here. I want to show you something real quick. Slide all the way down. Oops, yep, all the way down. Those are all my trades for 2024. Here we go. My very first post on the trades. Now, I've been trading since the 1990s. I didn't start sharing my trading and my experience until August 2021. Do you see that? 2011, sorry. 2011. That was a long time ago. Okay? My first year, I averaged 9% per month. Second year was 8%. Third year was 3% per month. What happened year 3? That was 2013. But you can see, back in those days, we didn't have video, okay? We couldn't upload, so it was all, what do you call it? Blog post. So every day, I would do my trades, and I would do my blog post, okay? That was in 2011. So now we're here in 2025, 3 years ago. Someone gave me a camera and said, hey, just tell people what you do. Share what you know. Well, 3 years later, here we are. Okay, we're up to, I believe, anywhere between 10,000 and 20,000 people will come through this channel every night. Now, we are on 9 different platforms, so yeah, they're all separated. But the point is, I've been doing this for a while. Does it work? Yeah, it works. Is it guaranteed? No. There's only 3 guarantees in life, and not everybody knows all 3 guarantees, but there's 3. So that being said, let's get back to where we're going, just to give you a little background, who I am, where I'm coming from. So I've been doing this for a while. So if you give me a stock, okay, you tell me what it is, AMAT, applied materials. You give me something that I have no clue, most likely it's going to be a no. See, that's a no. Why? Because it has to fit certain criteria. I only have 2 criteria, only 2. That's it. 1, consistency of profitability. I don't want to put my money into a company that's not profitable. Now, when I say consistency of profitability, I want 2 decades, 20 years. That means I want to see the dividends increase every single year. And why do I want to do only dividend stocks? I'll tell you why. Let's go right here, give you an idea. Okay, this is what's called an EX dividend calendar. Okay, so step number 1. You got to get your mind right, because this is something totally different. Because as a kid growing up, it was always annual percentage rate. Well, what is that annually? Well, how much is that annually? Oh, you put your money here, guaranteed 3% per year. Awesome. Dividends, 5% per year. Great. Loan, 8% per year. Wonderful. No, change your thinking. We're investing, or I'm investing, for weekly cash flow. 1% a week. That's my goal. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm going to show you. Now, as the night progresses, everything's going to come together and it's going to make sense. Just like a good movie. Like a good movie, everything's going to come together at the end. Okay, we're going to go through some samples. We're going to go through some trades. I'm actually going to show you what we came up with yesterday and the day before. Okay, so ask away. What do you want to look at? Oh, back to the EX dividend calendar. Now, the reason for the EX dividend calendar, step number 1, get your mind right. New thinking, new terminology, new thoughts. Actually, you're going to create, if this is something interest to you, okay, you're going to create a new regiment or a new strategy, no, a new ritual. There you go, a new morning ritual. Go to bed a little earlier, get up a little earlier. Brush your teeth, get your coffee, get your breakfast, blah, 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 all that stuff, and sit in front of your computer and do the gardening of your money. What do I mean by that? It's your money. The only thing that you're going to rely on when you get older is, how is the income going to come in? You may not think of it now, but when you're retired and the paychecks stop coming in, you still got to pay for your mortgage. You still got to pay for your insurance. You still got to pay for your groceries. You still got to pay for your car. You still got to pay for the groceries. You still got to pay for your entertainment. So just because you're retired and don't work anymore, the money has to come from somewhere. So most people think that 401k is going to save them. Sorry, you haven't read the fine print. I honestly feel bad for people sometimes because they don't read the fine print of what they're signing. Okay, a 401k really ain't that good. BP, thank you for that. So the money that I have accumulated over my working days, that gets me 1% per week. Now that 1% per week allows me to pay all my bills and allows me to enjoy myself once in a while, because I have more freedom. You wouldn't believe that the amount of, I don't want to say pressure, but the burden. Once you're retired and the income comes in on a consistent basis, it's such a wonderful existence to sleep until you're done. Okay, do whatever you want to do. Hey, what's on my list to do today? Oh, nothing. Anyway, besides the point, let's get back to where we go. So, 2. Okay, first is get your mind right. New way of thinking, new terminology, new things. The new morning routine. Sit and at least go through your money. Okay, most people spend more time planning a family barbecue than they do on their personal finances. Now, your personal finances is going to take you from when you retire, and that's going to be the key. Because when you retire, you got 3 choices. Only 3. Number 1, you can do what's called aging out. If you go to work and your boss says, "Oh, hell no, you're just too damn old, keep your ass at home." That's number 1. Number 2, you can take this job and shove it. That means your investments are making you so much money, you do not need to work anymore. Now, work, once you get to that point, it's like, do I want to go to work? Do I not go to work? Because it's an awesome situation to be in, to go to work because you want to, not because you have to. Number 3 way of retiring. They call it toe tagging. Do you know what that means? Toe tagging. That means you die on your way to work, or you die on your way home from work, or you die at work. Okay? A lot of people do that. They don't get to enjoy their retirement. Now, the retirement comes when you feel you're ready for it. And you got three, like I said, the three choices. Okay? Now, the choice number two, you can take this job and shove it, is when you make enough money from your investments where you don't need to work and you can work if you feel like it. It's a great situation to be in. All right. I'm trying to think. All right, so anyway, let's get down to it. The very first one on the list today is going to be applied material. Now, if you give me a stock to take a look at, I'm going to give you my opinion, okay? Now, somebody want to take a look at Rocket Labs. Not Rocket Labs, Rocket Mortgage. I'm pretty damn sure Rocket Mortgage has not been around for 2 decades and has 2 decades of increased profits. As a matter of fact, what we're going to do is we're going to end up going back and forth quite often to Yahoo Finance. Okay? Now, if you're going to be an investor, if you want to stay on top of things, you need access to a financial website. Something's going to tell you what are the earnings? What are the dividends? Has this company been profitable? What is the year-over-year profitability from over the last 5 years? What is the projection for the next 5 or 10 years? Okay? What is the book value? That is an important one. The book value is the actual value of the company. Because if you take everything the company owns, all the intellectual property, all the real estate, all the assets the company owns, and then you subtract all the debt that it owes, what's left is the value of the company. It amazes me when people will put money into a company with a value of $4. $4 per share value, and it pays 1 penny a share, and the stock price is $200. Why would you pay $200 a share for a stock that pays a 1 penny dividend and has a book value of $4.11? That makes no sense to me. And the company's not even 50 years old. Let's take the flip side. Here's another company. It's over 100 years old. It's got a book value of $67. It's got a revenue per share of $187 per share. The dividend is a hell of, I don't know what the dividend is off the top of my head, but the book value is higher than the stock price. Imagine that. A company that's over 100 years old has a book value, that means all the assets are worth more than what the stock price costs. And the company's over 100 years old. But no, people want to put their money into a company that's $200 a share, pays 1 penny dividend, and it's only worth $4 a share. And it's not even 20 years old. What the hell's the matter with people? The numbers are what the numbers are. Numbers don't lie. They are what they are. 1 plus 1 is going to equal 2 no matter where you go. All right, enough blabbing. Let's take a look. Now, somebody wanted to take a look at Rocket Mortgage. Now, this is why I don't like Rocket Mortgage. Let's go up to here. Right here. This is, what is it? RKT. RKT. What we're going to look at is the historical performance of the company. Okay? So in Yahoo Finance, you can find out a lot of stuff. Now, I've been doing this long enough that I just go right to the meat and potatoes. I skip all the other veggies and I just go right to it. All right, so what am I looking at? Historical prices. Now, I don't want to see the historical prices. I want to see the dividends. Because if the dividend increases, that means the profits increase. Now, I could, if I wanted to, which I don't, read 20 years of, what do you call it? Annual reports, quarterly reports. No desire to do that whatsoever. Okay, so click right here. Come on. Look at this. What is that? Buffering? Come on, I don't want buffering. All right, historical prices. Why is it taking so damn long? Oh, this is not good. You can't give a good sample if the internet's not cooperating, and it's not. Oh, man. That's disappointing. Hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. So why aren't we able to see this? All right, well, let's go to the summary. Can we at least go to the summary? No, we can't even go to the summary page. Damn it. All right, hell with it. But I do know Rocket Mortgage has not been around for 20 years. So in that case, it's going to be a no. Oh, there it is right there. Right? Dividends only. That's what I want. Dividends only? Oh, come on. And then, all right. You got to be kidding me. You seriously kidding me? Seriously? Just me? 3 dividends? That's it? This company only paid 3 dividends? 2021, 2022, and 2025? Oh, hell no. And then it was 111, then it dropped down to 1, then it dropped down to 80. It keeps going backwards. Why the hell do you think this is a good thing? Seriously. You're putting your money into something absolutely horrible, in my humble opinion. Well, what the hell do I know? But think about it. Why would you invest in a company that's not consistently profitable? They paid 3 dividends in the last 5 years and went from 111 to 1 to 80 cents. That's going backwards year after year after year. Why? Okay, let's do applied materials. I like applied materials. All right, back here, back there, and back here, and back here. See, I know applied materials has been around for at least 50 years. All right, so now I got to explain something so you understand a little bit better. Today is Tuesday, which means tomorrow is Wednesday. Okay, so when I say I do weekly trading, which means I do weekly options, and considering Monday's gone and Tuesday's gone already, I just lost 40% of my potential money that I can make. Why do I say that? Because the maximum amount of time value you have on a weekly basis, the market opens at 9:30 a.m. and it closes 4 p.m. So the maximum amount of time you're going to have in 1 week is 9:30 a.m. Monday morning and 3:59 p.m. Friday afternoon. That's it. Okay, that's 100% of the week, 5 days. Okay, 1 day's gone, that's 20% gone. Tuesday's gone, that's 40% gone. So now I only have 3 days left. So I may not get my 1% if I decide to buy something tomorrow because there's only 3 days left. So most likely we'll probably end up looking at next week's. Okay, so this week, November 14, we only have 3 days left, so we might not make our 1%. So we're going to move to next week, which is the 21st of November. In that case, I'm going to want 1.5% because half the week's already gone. Do I really want to invest for 0.5% for this week? I don't know. We'll check out the numbers, and if it makes sense, sure, why not? Okay, so applied materials. I'm going to say no to applied materials this week only because look at where she is. Okay, here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Down, up, down, up, down. So it's coming down at the moment, so no. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. Now, when I look at a stock, I do everything A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. You know, it's like paint by numbers, 1 red, 2 blue, 3 green, 4 white, you know, whatever. Paint by numbers. This is the same thing. Okay, I got to pick my stocks. Okay, if you don't know, remember I said a list of stocks? Okay, get a pen, paper, mascara, crayon, marker, write it on the wall. List number 1, Dividend Kings. Now, to get the list, just go to Google. In the search, go to Bing, whatever search engine you use, Dividend Kings List 2025, and then you hit the search button, and boom, it'll show up. 54 companies that have increased their profits for 5 decades or more. There's one company that has 7. See that? 7 decades of increased profits. GPC, Genuine Parts Corporation. Now, there are monthly optional stocks. I don't really trade them, but there's a lot of good companies in there. Okay? List number 2, Dividend Aristocrats. I think there's like 67 companies that have consistently increased their profits for 25 years. That's a quarter of a century. List number 3, the Dividend Champions. These companies, the rules are a little bit different between the champions and the aristocrats, but still 25 years. And there's 150 dividend champions. Next list, dividend contenders. There's over 300 dividend contenders. And they have anywhere between 10 and 24 years of increased profits. And then lastly, we're going to take a look at Warren Buffett. Dude, what are you doing? Warren Buffett stock list 2025. It's good enough for Warren, good enough for me. Okay? All right, so that being said, that's the 5 list, over 300 companies to choose from. Now, we check every single week. This week, you know what? Let's go check right now, just to be on the safe side. For that, we're going to go to FinViz. If you know who FinViz is, they're a financial annualization stock company. Where is it? Webull? Nope, FinViz. There it is right there. Okay, so we're going to go to FinViz. Okay, a lot of interesting stuff on FinViz. I want to look at the screener right there. See, screener. All right, and I don't want an ad. Get the ad out of there. Close. Okay, here's the number I want to see. I check this number every single week. That's not what I want to see. Okay, here's the number I want to see right there. 10,616 companies. You probably heard of some of them. Look at this one. Alcoa, Allegiant, ATA Creative, Goldman Sachs, American Airlines. You probably heard of some of those. 10,616 companies to choose from. Yet, I only look at 300. That's it. Only 300 companies fit my criteria. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week, using nothing but companies that are consistently profitable and that have weekly options. Simple, easy, right? Let's keep on going. We don't need that. We don't need that. Let's go back to right here. Okay, so applied materials. Here's your last 30 days. Here's your bottom. Here's your top. She shoots up. She pulls back. Not a time to jump in. However, I like applied materials. If I really liked it, I'd wait about a week. She comes back down around here, then I jump back in. So I'm going to write applied materials down for next week. AMAT for next week. AMAT. Cool beans. All right, so applied materials for next week. Sorry, dude, just not this week. Don't get me wrong, I love the company, I do, but just not this week. Immortal, how are you today? All right. Ooh, wow, we got a lot of questions. Paul Dila, okay, Dirk Grace, okay. Oh, Delia, okay. Red Guardian, how are you today? Just me? No. Immortal, okay, got that one. Ed Freeze, good evening, Ed. Just me wants to take a look at Pepsi. Ooh, Pepsi's actually on our list this week. It was. Seriously, Pepsi was on our list. Oops. Now, if you didn't know, okay, Pepsi has been around for over 100 years. Pepsi is a dividend king. 5 decades of increased profits. Yeah, it's on my list. Now, I'm looking for 5 things anytime I look at a chart. Every single chart I look for, I'm looking for 5 things, and get this, 3 to 4 seconds. That's all it takes for me. Let's see how quick you are. 5 things. You ready? Number 1, the high. Number 2, the low. Number 3, where was it a year ago? Number 4, where is it now? And number 5, up, down, up, blah, 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 blah. Here we are right there. 145.08. Now, this right here looks really challenging. Looks really, I'm trying to think of a good word. I want to say tasty, but whatever. See, now all this information here, whoops. Okay, this is last year. This is 6 months ago. This is 3 months ago. Interesting to see, but it doesn't really have anything to do with us today. What I'm looking for specifically is where's the high? Right there. Where's the low? Right there. Okay, where are we right now? Right here. What direction are we in at this moment? The last 30 days is right here. Down, now she's going up. Stocks do 2 things and only 2 things. And if you understand this, you'll be just fine. You ready? 2 things. You ready? They go up, but then they go down. That's it. They don't come to the house, take the dog for a walk. They don't make you dinner. They don't make the bed. They don't even take out the trash. Stocks go up. Stocks go down. That's it. If you're expecting a stock to send you a Christmas card, yeah, fat chance. So anyway, we're looking at Pepsi. Why do I think Pepsi looks good at the moment? Well, let's take a look. The last 30 days. Let's zoom in a little closer. Now, today's being the 11th. The 11th was a Saturday. All right, so here's the last 30 days. Okay, high, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, now it's going back up again. For me, I want 2 days to the upside after a bottom is isolated right there. Okay, 2 days to the upside. On the third day, I personally will jump in. Question. Cool. Someone just asked to chat. Oh, before I forget, it just popped up on my screen. Okay, if you have a desire to have a conversation with me. I love talking to people, I really do. Okay, I used to be shy many years ago. In high school, I always kept to myself. It was just me and a couple of friends. That's it. I only had like 5 or 6 friends all through high school. And I played sports too. I didn't really hang out with the sports guys, and I didn't hang out with anyone except for my friends. But besides the point. So what just popped up on my screen? I have a calendar that you can, if you want, sign up to have a conversation with me. It's free. I can guarantee you I'm not going to sell you anything. Now, you may not believe me at the moment, but remember earlier I said I'm not going to try to sell you anything. So at the end of the evening, you will see I'm not going to try to sell you anything. So if you want to have a conversation, you got 2 choices. 1, drop a DM here, direct message. So whatever channel you're on, go to the bio, and there's a way to contact me and send me a message. Say, hey, I'd like to have a conversation. Send me a number, and I'm not going to pass it off to someone else because there is no one else. Okay? There's no minions. There's no people helping out. There's no nothing yet. Okay? It's just me. Drop me a number. I'll give you a call personally. And I guarantee you I won't try to sell you anything. We'll just have a conversation. I want to hear what it is you want to do. I want to be able to help you out as best I can with whatever goal it is you want to get. Okay? You help out enough people, eventually you'll get what you want. That's my philosophy. If I help out enough people get what they want, in turn, I will get what I want. And it's working out for me so far. So back to Pepsi. I like 2 days to the upside. Here's your bottom. 1, 2. 2 days to the upside, which means this is prime for tomorrow, in my humble opinion. So it's at right now 145. The 145 is only going for 124, but there's only 3 days left. So I could take the 124, okay, and get, what is that, 0.75%, 0.75? Or I can go to next week and sell the option for next week. So next week's 145s are going for 218. That's more than 1.5%. That's what I like. Now, this company's over 100 years old. We all know who Pepsi is. Okay, they have 5 decades of increased profits. You cannot get any lower than the low of the 30-day period. That was just last week. There's a low, Thursday. Friday was up, Monday was down, Tuesday's up. There's your 2 days right there. Boom. Okay, here's your 30-day high. She drops, now she's going back up. If you like Pepsi. And there's always a catch, isn't there? There is. And there's a catch here too. Number 1, you got to have the money to play the game. Number 2, you actually got to like the stocks. So maybe you have a lot of money to start out with. Teeny! Hey, James, any luck with your YouTube Thinkorswim sharing? I'm not quite sure what we mean, Teeny. You got to give me a little bit more to go on than just that one. What do we got? Oh, 2 questions. All right. There is no life. Hope you're having a good night, though. All right, so where were we? Oh, okay. So, considering tomorrow's Wednesday, it's halfway through the week. Can we get a full 1% for this week? No, because 2 days are already gone. We've got 3 days left. So if I do next week, next Friday, which is the 21st of November. Can you believe that 21st of November is next Friday? And then we have Thanksgiving, 2.5 weeks away. Where the hell did the year go? All right, anyway. So I want to check out the 145s and see what it looks like. Here's the part where you actually see me do a trade and see if it makes sense to you. If you didn't know, okay, this screen behind me, I love this thing. It's cool. That screen behind me is live on YouTube right now, and it's being recorded. So if there's something that interests you or something you need to hear again, just go back to YouTube after we're done, before we go on, hold on a second, because there's always, every night, always, someone says, this is recorded. No, it's not recorded. It is 9:44 p.m., 11/11/2025, which means if you are listening to this other than the 11th at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's probably a recording. Other than that, no, it's live. Okay? Sorry. Okay, so that being said, let's take a look at the 145s, not for this week because there's only 3 days left. Let's look at it for next week. And here's the questions you need to ask yourself. Number one, do I like Pepsi? Not the drink itself. I'm talking about the company. It's been around for over 100 years. They have consistently been profitable for 5 decades. So the question you need to ask yourself, number one, does it make sense? Number two, do I like this company? It's Pepsi. Come on. Really? Pepsi. All right, so here we go. You ready? So I don't need this anymore, so get this out of the way. I'm going to change this to covered call. Now, when I say I give away one trading strategy and only one, here's all the different strategies. Single, vertical, back ratio, calendar, diagonal, straddle, strangle, covered, synthetic, butterfly, condor, iron condor, vertical roll, blah, 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 blah. A whole bunch of different trading strategies. I'm giving you for free, no strings attached one. It just so happens that this one, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and 1% a week is what the goal is. That's 50% a year if you have 5 or 10 minutes every day to take care of your own money. It doesn't take long. Now, it might take long at first, but it's kind of like riding a bike or driving a car. First time you got in, what are all these buttons? What? I got to look in that mirror, and play the... No! I remember it. It wasn't that easy when you first tried. But nowadays, toss them in the keys, I can figure out almost any car. At first, no. Now, yes. It's a new language. It's a new thought process. It's a new strategy. Okay, and it's something totally different than you ever seen before. Who ever thought of investing for weekly cash flow? Now, before it was monthly. No, not monthly, sorry. Before it was annual investment. So what is the return? And then it went to monthly because, you buy a house and you get that income from a rental property or a car. If you rent a car out, if you rent anything out, you can get income from. Well, here I'm creating weekly cash producing assets. So however much money I put into Pepsi, that is my asset. However many shares I own. Now, just to let you know, in order to do a covered call or do stock options, you need 100 shares of something. 100 shares. So if you can't do that, you can always do what is called dividend capturing. If you don't have enough money for that, there's always dividend capturing 2.0 with, let's say, Robinhood, because Robinhood allows fractional shares. Now, my grandson started out with $50. Now, he's 5 years old. It's not growing very fast, but he's 5. When he turns 18, well, hopefully it'll be something interesting. Okay, so these are all the strategies. I'm only going to show you this one right here. I'm going to give it to you for free because it's simple, it's safe, it's easy, it's predictable. Let's do this. Covered call. Here we go. Now, we said we like the 145s. There it is right there. Okay. Everything's preset here. I want to do just one contract so you'll be able to understand the numbers better. Okay, if I show you 13, then you have to think, well, I got divided by 13. If I did 25, I got to divide. No, just one. I'm going to show you just one, and then you think, all right, I can get 5 of those. I can get 15. I can get 73. I can get out. We all should have some kind of idea of what you have available to you. I know what I have available. I know what I can do. I like to keep all my trades even. 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, so on and so forth. Okay, maybe I'll get, 1,500 shares. Maybe I'll get 700 shares. Maybe I'll get 200 shares, depending on the stock price. But I do like, I'm not always successful at it, but I do try to keep all my trades even. If I have 5 trades, it's 20, 20, 20, 20. Okay, if I have 4 trades, it's 25, 25, 25. Okay, so you got to figure out what works for you. Now, the one piece of advice I will give you, before you put any money at risk, paper trade. It's kind of like playing Monopoly. 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. Paper trading is the same thing. It all looks the same, but it's not quite. Okay, all the numbers work. All the strategies are the same. You just can't spend that money that you make. Here's what it is. But paper trade first, and you will know when you're ready to put real money into it. Okay, don't put real money into it until you're ready. Okay, don't buy anything until you are okay with the what's the right word here? I want to think the repercussions. No, that's not the right word. Yeah, I guess repercussions could be the good one. Okay, so if you're not ready for what might happen, then don't do it. Okay, so here we are. Here's the trade. This is the first one I'm going to show you tonight, and let's see how it looks. This is what I call a covered call. Now, I always encourage people to read it out loud because your fingers and your eyes can play tricks on you, but your hearing, they get hearing. Okay, so 3 is better than 2. All right, so here it is. Buy 1, covered call, Pepsi, 21 November. That's when the option expires. So if I buy it tomorrow morning at 1:45, I'm going to sell it to someone else at 1:45. Now that makes no sense at all, right? Because it doesn't. I'm buying it at 1:45. I'm selling it at 1:45. What am I making? I'm making the premium. It's kind of like standing in line. Okay, you're standing in a nice long line. Somebody walks up to you. Hey, I'll give you $20 if I get in front of you. Kind of the same thing, but you won't have people breathing down your neck. Say, hey, you can't do that. Kind of the same thing. But here's the thing. I'm going to buy a stock at 145.08. I'm going to turn around and sell it for 145. I'm going to collect the premium. The premium for one contract is $220. Okay? If the person wants to take it away from me, they give me all my money back. 145, I get all my money back, and I get to keep this. Now, I get to keep this the day it is sold. So if I buy it tomorrow morning, first thing, as the market opens, 9:30. Okay, at 9:30 and 15 seconds, I will sell the option. It's all done by computer. So I'll buy the stock first, and then I'll sell the option, and I'll collect this. This will get credited to my account immediately. Okay, so profit, max profit right there, 220. Cost of the trade, including commissions and fees, 14,000. Just think of it as an investment in your weekly cash producing asset. If it was a vending machine, you pay $12,000 for your vending machine, and the vending machine, well, for the week gives me $220. This week, what is it giving me next week? What is it giving me the week after that? The week after that? Because I can do this every single week until I decide I want to get rid of it. Okay? Now, don't be afraid if the stock goes down, if the stock goes up. There's always another avenue in order to be profitable and not to lose. All right, so 14,000 is what I'm paying, 220 is what I'm making. Makes no sense whatsoever until we get the calculator to tell us exactly what the ROI is. If you don't know what that is, that's return on investment. Calculator, here we go. Here it is. Okay, so first thing I want to do on the calculator, $220, which is the profit. And I want to divide it by the investment, which is 14,280. All right, so divided by 14,280, grand total of 1.5%. That's the 1.5% I'm looking for. Because remember, if it was for 1 week, I'd want 1%. But this is going to be a week and a half. It's going to expire next Friday. So 1.5% is perfectly fine for me. And I like it so much, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to save it. All right, I hear noise in the background. Somebody's not muted. Somebody's. Oh, now they just muted themselves. All righty. Okay, so check this out. Here we go. And right there. Here we go. And there it is right there. Whoops. There it is. Yay! One covered call, Pepsi. 21 November, that's next Friday. The 145 call option. 220 is the profit. 14 is the investment. Grand total of 1.5% if you like Pepsi. Why the hell wouldn't you like Pepsi? You don't have to drink it. Okay? You don't have to put it in your garage. You buy the shares. You sell some of the rights to buy it from you for the exact same price you paid for it, and it gives you 1.5% every single week. Terribly sorry if you got to put 5 to 10, 15 minutes in every day. Terribly sorry. You want to keep your hair? You wash it every day. You want to keep your teeth? You brush them every day. You want to stay fit? You exercise every day. You want to have a good, healthy retirement? Take care of your money. No one else is going to do it for you. And trust me, when you get to see, don't trust me, don't trust anybody online. But from my opinion, you get two choices when you retire. Two. Take accountability, invest the money yourself, learn how to do it. Two, give it to someone else and take whatever they give you. You heard of the 4% rule? Great, yeah. 4% rule, you can take out 4% of your investment every year. Now, if you have enough money to do that, great, more power to you. 1.5%. All right, let's do this. Oops. There we go. Now, I want to do this. 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 I want to do this because we are right here. All right. And make this a little smaller right there. And I want to write 1.5%. Great. Okay, so what do we have here? Oh, this is last week. Let's get rid of this. What do we have last week? We had car. That's Avis. Car. What's this one? TSLL. Oh, yeah. This one? Texas Instruments. Cool. 2%. 2.3%. That is Hershey. Oh, cool. That was last week also. AbbVie. 1.8%. That was last week also. Okay. This, we'll get to that another time. All right. So this is what we come up with Sunday night. This is what we come up with last night. And this is what we're doing tonight. Okay. All right. So back to where we were. Let's do this. Okay. Let's find another good one. Pepsi was pretty good. Ooh, Eric. COP. ConocoPhillips. Let's take a gander at that one. I like ConocoPhillips. All right, back to where we start again. Here we are, back to the beginning. ConocoPhillips, COP. Now I'm going to hit the enter button, and I want you, just for the fun of it, count in your head 5 things: high, low, where was it, where is it, what direction it's going. See how long it takes you to find it. You ready? Here we go. All right, there we go. High, low, where was it, where is it? Look at this, down, up, down, up. Oh, that's awesome. Take a look at that. How long did it take you? It took me 3 seconds. Prove I'm human. Here we go. TikTok makes me prove I'm human. All right, anyway. All right, so Eric, let's take a look at this. I love this right here. Check that out right there. Here's the high, the low. Look at this, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. 90, 69. I want to look at the 91s for this week are 83. Maybe. Next week, 130. Not so good. I might do this week's 90s, 137. Yeah, let's check out this week's 90s. Okay, that being said, look at the last 30 days before we move on. Here we go. Here's the last 30 days. Down, up, down, up. I don't know. See, it's higher than the last 30 days high. Maybe not. Yeah, because look at this jump from 85 to 91. That's $6. $6 on an $85 stock. Not quite, was it like 8% from here to here? It's an 8% increase, but it gapped up today. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I should have jumped in yesterday or this morning, but I didn't see it. Let's check it out. ConocoPhillips. The 90. This week's 90. This week's 90. Covered call. There we go. This week's 90 right there. Okay, one contract. Right there. And at the market, there we go. Johnny, tell them what they want. Here's Johnny. Buy one covered call COP 100. Those are the weeklies. 14 November. That's this Friday, 3 days away. The $90 call option against the COP stock at the market. Okay. Max profit, $78. Oh, hell no. Cost of trade, including commissions and fees, $9,000. I don't think that's going to work. Let's get that calculator. Clear, $78 divided by 89.22 Yeah, 0.87. Yep, no thank you. So no to the 90s for this week. Let's take a look at the 90s for next week. Okay, here we go. 118, and it's 8,800. Same thing, except for 21 November, which is next Friday. So let's check out these numbers. Calculator, 118 divided by 8882 gives me a grand total of 1.3%. I don't know. Do I want to do 1.3% for a week and a half? I don't know. Maybe. Let's hold on to it. Why not? ConocoPhillips. There we go. Give it a second or two to populate, and there it is right there. We'll go up. Let's go up here, and let's see it. There it is. It's so small. It's hard to see sometimes. There it is right there. ConocoPhillips. Whoops. ConocoPhillips. 21 November, the 90 call. 118, it's going to cost me 8,800. It's 1.3% if I like this company. Well, of course I like ConocoPhillips. Whoops. Now, what did I say? 1.3? 1.3%. There we go. Neato. Wait. Come on. There we go. All right, next. There it is. All right, let's get rid of this. So ConocoPhillips actually worked out pretty good. What do we have next? Thanks for doing these shows. Mr. Doughboy, how are you today? Omar, Niculator, Delia, how are you? Southern Home, how are you? What does consistently profitable really mean? Most quarters are showing a profit of all. Most quarter. Okay, hold on a second. It's a good question. Let's take a look. What does consistently profitable actually mean? Okay. Come on, why isn't this thing moving? Give it a second. You know, funny thing is, I got a brand new router and a brand new, what do you call that thing? Router and, what's that other thing? The other box. I forget. All right, here we go. Rocket. Rocket. Yeah. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Now touch me, baby. Can't you see that I am not afraid? All right, come on. Dividends only. Here we go. And let's take a look at all the dividends. Let's put in, what one are we looking at? What stock are we looking at the moment? Isn't that terrible? Oh, what does consistently profitable mean? Okay, MSFT. Just to give you an idea what consistently profitable means. Okay? We're going to take a look at a stock that is consistently profitable. Come on. I got to put the date in. See the date right here? That's why it goes from 2020. I want to go 20 years, which is 205. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. There it is. Maximum. I want to do the maximum, which means every single dividend this company has paid. Now, Mr. Doughboy, are you ready for this? Here we go. Pay attention. Not that difficult. Okay, we're going to go back 20 years. Okay, 20 years is 2005, right here. 2005. Okay, now, when I say consistently profitable, you ready? Here we go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 20, 23, 28, 31, 36, 39, 42, 46, 51, 56, 62, 68, 75, 83. Okay, every single year, the dividend got higher and higher and higher. Come on. Right there. Each year, higher and higher. See, right there, the dividends, higher and higher and higher each year. That is what I mean by consistently profitable. It means they made more money this year than they did last year. They made more money last year than they did before. It's not by the quarter, it's by the year. Year after year after year. It's annual report, not quarterly report. Okay? All right, Patrick. Oh my goodness. Patrick, were you not listening? When I said make sure the company's consistently profitable for at least 2 decades. ULTY, hell, double hell no. ULTY. Okay, hold on a second. Who came up with this one? Patrick. Okay, one problem number one with ULTY. The very first dividend was in 2024. The very first dividend, 2024. No possible way it could have 2 decades of dividends if this thing, very first dividend was in 2024. Hell no. Mr. Keeves, you're 62. Cool beans. Delia, you like that one? The 145 strike, 154. Cool beans. Mr. Keys. Mr. Keeley. Okay, how are you? Amazing. Just invest in Palantir. Oh my God, not another one of those. PLTR. Okay, Palantir, huh? Let's take a look. How consistently profitable is Palantir? Okay, you can't hide from the numbers. You can't. Okay, so who came up with Palantir? Amazing. Check this out. There are no dividends for Palantir. So my question would be to you. You show up at a store or a show that says dividend stocks, dividend investing for weekly cash flow. And then you ask me about a stock that has no dividends at all. Hell no. Red Nail. Kelly Wyatt, I have no idea what Red Nail is. Oh, Hercules wants to take a look at Cisco, CSCO. Now, CSCO is on the list. Okay. CSCO. Cisco. Here we go. Now, there are 2 Ciscos, CSCO and SYY. This one here is on the list. The other one, no. Okay, so I want to say no to this only because look at where it is. Here's your high, here's your low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look, it's up, down, up, down. It's coming down at the moment. I don't want to buy anything at the high, especially when it's coming down. Don't get me wrong, Cisco's on my list. It is, but not for this week. I want it to come down a little bit further. I'm thinking somewhere around here before I jump in. So I'll put Cisco on the list for 2 weeks from today because I think it's going to take 2 weeks to get down there. I could be wrong. You can ask me about it again next week. CSCO. All right. That being said, sorry about that. So let's go over here, see what we have over here. Wow. Holy cow, I missed all these questions. All right, I'm going to grab my seat, get comfy, and let's answer some questions. Hop la errant then. Okay. The YouTube version went down and we are unable to see. Uh-oh. That's not good. Which one went down? Sorry, I got to check the YouTube channel because she said it went down. So we got to do this. You got to go there. We got to go there. It'd be easier if I just had a direct line to it, but I don't. Okay. Pre-law flipper. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Classman, how are you? Uh-oh. Yeah, one of them did go down. Which one's this? Which one is this?
Man, how are you?
Oh,
yeah,
that's that one.
Which
Okay.
one's this?
Don't want that one. Okay, so I know which one that is. That is this one. So why did YouTube stop? Oh, no. Okay, so I got to find out why it stopped. Log in. There we go. Okay, log in. There we go. Okay, why aren't we logging in? Oh, so we're having a problem with Restream. That's where I do my streaming from. Okay. Home. Nope, I don't want to talk to you. Home. Why aren't we streaming? 11, that's today. So what's going on today? Okay, okay. Why is YouTube offline? Everything's offline. What is going on there? All right, we're going to do this another time. Jacob usually takes care of that. Jacob is my son. Oh, we're back to doing questions. All right, sorry about that, guys. We'll have to figure that one out. Low power. How the hell can we have low power over there? Okay. Yeah. One of these days, I'll get all this stuff figured out. Uh-oh. I have 100 shares of Mara. Who's this? All right. Sorry about that, Ron. I'll have to get that fixed. I have 100 shares of Mara at 17. If I buy 100 tomorrow, 14, my average will be 16. I can do 2 covered calls for 2% return for the 14th of November at 60. Ooh, hold on a second. Sav, let me take a look at that. Let's pull up, what is it, Mara? Okay, let's get out of here. I'll have to figure that one out later. Mara. Okay, we said no, that one, Mara, M-A-R-A. Okay. Okay, so, who was that one? Sav. Okay, Sav, we had a conversation about this. We did. Okay, why would you buy Mara as it's dropping? It's dropping. Why not wait for it to stop dropping? That's just a thought. Why wait till it stops dropping? All right, so 2 covered calls at 1650. 1650 for next week. Let's go a little bit more. There it is, 1650. The 29. For what time? All right, 14, blah, 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 average cost, blah, blah, blah. Okay. 14. Tomorrow. Okay, Sav, you do know I can't tell you what to do. Oh, November 14th. No, 1650. Oh, no, you're definitely reading that wrong, dude. Definitely reading it wrong. See, here's the November 14th. Okay, if you jumped in tomorrow at 1460 and your first jump was 17, so 17 to 14, you'll be somewhere around 16. So the 16s for this week are going for 13. That's not 1%. Not even 1%. Next week, the 16s are going for 38. That's 2% for next week, not this week. But me personally, Sav, I'd wait till it finds the bottom. Don't be in a hurry. You can sell the one at 17, okay? Take the 17. In my humble opinion, I would do 16 right here. This is just what I would do. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I would do, okay? If I was in at 17, I wouldn't dollar cost average yet until the bottom surfaces, because it might be lower tomorrow, okay? So I would do this week's at 16, pick up that little bit of money, and then wait until it bottoms out before I jump in to do the dollar cost average. Because you don't want to grab a falling knife. Look at this, 23, and it's dropping, 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 dropping. Wait until it drops. Wait until it finds the bottom. Still 21 November. Got it, okay? Way to go. All right, so where were we? Mara. All right, back here. Where were we? Where were we? Where were we? All right, all right, all right, all right. Wow, I missed all these questions. Back to my seat. All right. Give thanks, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Silver or gold or Bitcoin to hold for the next 6 months. Okay, Yuri, I'm going to disagree with you only because, Yuri, Okay, gold and silver don't give you any cash flow. They will hold on to the value that you put into it, but you can't get weekly cash flow from it. And then take a look at this. Here's an idea. Let's say you buy a bar of gold or a bar of silver. You're gonna go to the donut shop. What do? Shave off some shavings to pay for your coffee? Doesn't work that way. Thoughts on SPY? SCHG. Berserk. Why do you ask me about? All right, never mind. I told you I'd take a look. I'll take a look. Okay. Okay, what is the first one? SPYM. SPYM. Okay, give it a few seconds for it to load up. Here it goes. Oh, it's a lot quicker now. Okay, right there. See it? SPYM. Right there. State Street Spider Portfolio. It's at $80 a share. Okay, let's check out 20 years of dividends. Holy cow, it does go back to 20 years. 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, right there. Okay. This is not looking good, dude. Who came up with this one? Berserk. Okay, Berserk. Now, when I say Berserk, when I say consistently profitable, that means 2005, they make this much money. 2006, they make this much, this much, this much, this much, this much, this much, higher and higher and higher, year after year after year. That's what I'm looking for. Let's take a look at SPGY, whatever the hell this thing is. 2.7. Let's do this right here. That right there. Okay, you ready? 2.7. Higher, higher, lower. Higher, higher, lower. Higher, okay. All right. Okay, so higher, higher, lower, higher, higher, lower, higher, higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, lower, 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 lower. What the hell are we looking at? Now, when I say higher profits, why are we looking at lower, 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 lower? Why are we looking at that? Seriously. Consistency of profitability means you make more money. 8.5. 6.5 is lower. 6 is lower. 5.7 is lower. 3.6 is lower. Do you understand the concept of more money, more money, more money? Well, this is more money, less money, more money, less money, less money, less money, more money, less money, less. No, it just doesn't work. There's 10,616 companies. Why the hell would I invest in this thing? They're not consistently profitable. No, and you want me to look at SCHG? That's probably going to be the same damn thing. SCHG. Let's get rid of this. Okay, here we go. Oops, let's change this. All right. Okay, Schwab US Large Cap Growth ETF, SCHG. All righty. Oh, this goes back to 2010. 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, 0.7, 0.0007, 0.6, 0.8, 0.9, 1.3, 0.9, 1.0, 1.2, 2.6, 1.0, 1.6, 1.8, 1.5, 1.6, 1.9, 1. This is the same damn thing. No consistency of profitability. Each one of those numbers should be higher and higher and higher and higher. You put your money anywhere you want. Okay, you want to ask me a good company, good, no. Nope, 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 nope. Hell no to both of those. Ooh, Delia wants to take a look at Altria. Okay, I love Altria, I do. Ooh, look at that. Okay, high, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up. Look at that gap. Gaps have a tendency to fill. So this baby's going to come up and fill that gap eventually. So here's the bottom here, 56. Now we're at 58, definitely in an upturn if you like this company. So 58.40, we'd be looking at the 58s, 60, nah, not this week. Next week, 95. Yeah, I'll do next week's 58s. Let's take a look at next week's 58s. All righty, let's get rid of this. Whoops, 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 last 30 days. That's clear to see. Do you think that's pretty clear, right? The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Down, up. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 days to the upside. And look where the high is. Way here. Your bottom's way down here. Way here. We get all that space to go. Hell yeah, this is a good one. In my humble opinion, no, it's not a tip. No, it's not advice. It's an observation. Someone came up with it. I'm just reading the numbers. Now we're going to go through the exercise. 58. Let's see what the 58 looks like for next week. 58 right there. Whoops, one contract. I should change that, so I have to keep doing this. At the market, here we go. And here's Johnny. Buy one covered call Altria, 21 November, which is next Friday. So I'm going to buy it tomorrow morning, hypothetically. And I'm going to sell somebody the rights to buy it from me between now and next Friday for 58. Now, I'm paying 58.41, but I'm selling it for 58. That makes no sense. If it makes no sense, why am I walking away with a profit? Think about it that way. Why am I walking away with a profit if I'm selling it for less than what I paid for it? That's a good question, isn't it? I'll tell you why. Because if I'm buying it at 58.41, 53, all right, walking away with 53. Okay, 53.50 has cost me 5,700. Okay, let's see what that comes out to. It might not even work. 53.50 divided by 57.47, grand total of 0.9. Nope. Nope, just doesn't work. All right, so let's not do that one. Let's do the 59. Same thing, just a different number. Okay, 103. See, it's same thing, except we're doing the 59 rather than the 58. Same date, same stock, 103.57. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, the profit is 103. We're going to divide it by the investment, 57.97. Comes to a grand total of 1.7%. If, wait a second, if you like Altria. Do you like, and that's a question you got to ask. I can't answer the question for you. You have to think to yourself, do I know who Altria is? Do I know what they do? Is this a company I want to put my money into, put my faith into? Well, this week, it's paying me 1.7%. Give it a second. It's going to load right there. Here we go. And let's do this. Okay, 1.7. There it is right there. Yeah! Altria. 21 November. That's next Friday. The $59 call option. 103 is the profit. 5,700 is the investment. Now that's a 1.7% return. 1.77%. Boom. Come on. There we go. That's 3 good ones so far today. What else do we have? That was a good one, Delia. RT Product Buzz. How are you today? MJ Honline. Okay. I want to open a position just for the dividend. Why? The dividends you get, what, 3, 4, 5% for the year? Why not put the 5 or 10 minutes a day in and make 50% a year? Do you do market orders? Absolutely. I do market orders at the beginning when I buy. When I sell, I do limit orders because I want what I want. Okay, what do we get? Alex, good evening, Alex. Risk? Alex, what the heck is Risk? Other than the obvious, is Risk actually a company? What are we looking at? RISK. Rismatic Group. No options. No, dude. Should we start with 1 or 5 trades? Mr. Keeley, you should start with 1 or 2. Consequences is the right word. Thank you. Here comes the clown. Here comes the clown. Alrighty. Mr. Keeley, you should start with paper trading first. Do however much you think you can handle comfortably, because we're all different. Okay, I got one guy in my trading group. He's a commercial airline pilot, and his confuses the hell out of me. I have to really look and study. Okay, Risk is not popping up, dude. So I'm just gonna say no to this one. Okay, you have to figure out what works for you. Why do some people trade binary options? Because it just makes sense. Why does everybody think they can become a billionaire in one position? I have no idea to that question either. Joe, how are you today? Give thanks, thank you. How do I hide my money from the IRS? You file what's called a revocation of election. That means, thank you, but I want to unsubscribe to your, what do you call it? To your services. Revocation of election. Okay, you didn't hear that from me, you heard it from someone else. Alex, wouldn't you be selling? I'll be buying and selling at the exact same time, ever guess. Okay, I'm buying the stock, selling the option. See, when you buy the stock, you're entitled to get the dividends. You're entitled to whatever increase the stock goes up. But when I sell the option, I give somebody the right to buy it from me at a certain price by a certain date. If I structure it properly, I can do it every single week. Thoughts on Levi? Ooh, who's Levi? Is that Levi Strauss? Aren't they a monthly? No, they're not a monthly. Ooh, check that out. That looks interesting. I'm getting up out of my seat for this one. Okay, here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this, up, down, up, down. Now she's going up, 23.37. The 21.50s are going for 20 for this week. Next week, they're going for 40. Okay, that one sounds better. And can it hit 21.50 by next week? That's the question you should be asking yourself. Okay, the high's here, the low's here. We're here. You got all that room right there to run to get to the next 30-day high. Does it make sense? It's a yes, no question. It's not that difficult. Okay, so let's figure this one out. Does this one look good? Holy cow, we're at 10:30 already. Time flies. All right, so get out of that. Get out of this. Go to that. And we're looking at the 21.50s for next week right there. Just one. Just one market, and here's Johnny. Johnny, tell him what he's won. Levi, buy one covered call Levi, 21.50 for 21 November. That's next Friday. So the funny thing about U.S. options in the United States can be exercised anytime they want. Now, European options can only be exercised on the day of expiration. So you got to get familiar with what the rules are wherever you live, okay? So let's keep on doing this. So 59 is the profit, 2,000 is the investment. So let's find this out. Does this one make sense or not? Clear this. 59 bucks is the profit for one, and it's only 2,000 bucks. That's a grand total of 2.8. This is the winner. Ding, 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 ding. We got a winner. 2.8%. I like that one. All right, and 2.8% for Levi's. I don't think I've ever bought Levi's before. I'm not talking about the pants, I'm talking about the stock. All right. Where is it? Where is it? Right there. There it is. There is she be. Right there. Levi's, 21 November, that's next Friday. The 2150 call option. 59 bucks is the profit, 2,091 is the investment to give us a whopping 2.8% for 1 week. 1 week and a half. It's a week and a half. Okay, so it's not this Friday, which is only 3 days away. It's next Friday, which is 10 days away. But still, 2.8%. .8%. Okay. I like that one. That's 4. We got to come up with one more. Come on, come on, come on. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Thoughts on... Yeah, I already did that one. Hell no. Formless, how are you? Tiasu, how are you? Mitch. James McKay, good evening. Melissa, good evening. Michelle, hello, hello, hello. Ruben. Pre-law flipper, this is curiosity for you. I love what you did that. Oh, thank you there, pre-law flipper. No, Richard, Ricardo, ¿Qué pasa, amigo? Enlightening PA. Oh, damn, back again. How you doing? Uh-oh. Pre-law throws out XD. What the hell is that? Now, I'm assuming he's pre-law. What is that? Yeah, pre-law flipper, XD. Not a lawyer yet, so I can make fun of you. What are we looking at? XD? What the hell is XD? Duff and Phelps Global Utility Income. Oh, this is the part where we say no because, look, we cannot find that symbol. Okay, we can't find that symbol. That means no. If it's not traded on the open market in the U.S., we're going to get that. We cannot find this symbol. Sorry, dude. Correct. That's solid advice. Melting Pearls, how are you today? These are solid rules. Thank you. 2 decades. Woohoo! That's a great saying, all right? I'm not quite sure which one that was. Covered call. What is a covered call? Didn't we go over that earlier? Okay. A covered call, which means basically you're buying something and then you are selling it to someone else at a predetermined price by a predetermined date, and for that, they give you a premium. Now, being pre-law, I'm pretty sure you know there's 4 things that you need for any contract to be valid. 4. Number 1, beginning date. Number 2, ending date. Number 3, consideration, money. And number 4, for you, it's called meeting of the minds, or an agreement between 2 people. I'm buying, you're selling, I'm buying, blah, 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 whatever it is. It's an agreement between 2 people backed by consideration, which is money. That is a covered call. I'm buying something, selling it to someone else at a predetermined price by predetermined date, and they're going to pay me money for that. Covered call. There's literally hundreds of videos online to tell you exactly what that is. Can we look at JBS? Grumpy Monk, how are you today? What was that, JBS? What the hell is JBS? Okay, so Grumpy Monk, I think you've been here before because that name sounds kind of familiar. However, you weren't paying attention. When I say I don't do monthlies, November, December, January, March, April, September, January, these are months. Okay, a monthly option, you can trade it once a month. That's why it's called a monthly option. Once a month means 12 times a year. Okay, so if I make 1 to 2% each trade that I do, 1 to 2%, monthly is 12 to 24% at the end of the year. Now, you may be okay with that, but nope, I got a taste of the pie, man. No way. I want 1% every single week. And it just so happens to be 52 weeks in the year. So 1% a week is 52%. That's why I do weeklies and I don't do monthlies. They just don't pay the same. And to make matters worse, Grumpy, right, no, where are we? 11, so I want 10. Ooh, I'm not even there yet. Right there. Okay, Grumpy, are you ready for this? Another reason I don't do monthly, okay? This right here is 30 days. Here's your high, here's your low. Here's where it was, here's where it is. She went up, she went down. She went up, she went down. She went up, she went down, she went up. Great. Now, tell me, where is it going to be in 30 days? It's hard enough to figure out where it's going to be in 5 days. 30 days? Yeah, no thank you. I have no desire to try to figure out where the hell this thing's going to be in 30 days. And if I want weekly cash flow, I got to look at this stupid thing every single day to try to make money out of it. And I prefer not to do that. But thank you for your input. You know, I mean, it was a question. I answered your question, and I'm terribly sorry. It's going to be a no. It's going to be a hell no. I don't do monthlies. They just don't work for me. Oh, learning RTP products. You're welcome. Douglas J. Needles. Modem sounds interesting. However, you got to give me the ticker symbol because I've never heard of that company. Okay. What else we got? Douglas, Yahoo Finance has been slow for a while. It's not your system, I don't think. Yeah, I have a brand new modem and a brand new router. That's it. Brand new router, brand new modem, old ass computer. It's time to update the computer, but it's not always the computer. Sometimes it might be what do you call that? Modem or the router. James, it's QPP. Mine does the same thing. It's not the internet. Okay, Nico, thank you for that. Okay, Pierre Jobs. Let's take a look at 3M. 3M, by the way, if you didn't know, 3M is a dividend king. Look at this. Okay, high, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at it. Up, down, up. Okay, see here, it's a dividend king, so it makes it a little awkward because I don't like buying at the high. Okay, here's the high of the year. Here's where we are now. Okay, are we going to go for a new high? It's like $4. Do I really want to do that? I mean, but okay, here's the bottom. See, here's the top. Pull back. You're 3 days to the upside. Jump in. There's still room to go, but do you really want to be there? Think about it, because it's at the high of the year right there. That's too damn close for me. Now, don't get me wrong. I love 3M. I really, really do. But, okay, the low of the year's here at 120. We're at 170. I'd like to be down here somewhere. So I like to put 3M, you know, for 2 or 3 weeks from today. 2 weeks. Let's do 2 weeks. Because I like 3M. Uh-oh, Hercules wants to take a look at Able Mall. Now, I do have some Able Mall, Mr. Hercules. And it looks like it's time for me to get rid of my Able Mall. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this, down, up, down, up. Okay, we're at 103.88. Let's zoom into that a little closer. It's a little uncomfortable for me. Okay, here's your high, here's your low. Okay, up, down, here's the bottom. So you get a gap down, which filled, a gap up, which filled, a gap here, which filled. You got another gap here, which means this baby's coming down. And look where the high is, right there. We're at 103, 106 is the high. Now, I love this company, I really do. I actually have some, but it's not something I want to jump into right now. So let's get my chair out again, and let's answer some more questions. Mara won't cover his criteria. Anyway, no dividends. Thank you there, Douglas. Delia, Levi is great for next week. 2.8. Yep. Can we look at JBS NV? Okay, we already looked at JBS. It was a no. Sorry, Grumpy. Evergrass. Yes, he does market orders. Thank you. Nico, check APOG. What the hell is APOG? Apogee Enterprises. Hell no. Does anybody know what the other two stocks were besides Altria? Okay, Rob, hold on. We're going to go into that in a second. Good one. Thank you. Mr. Cayley, thanks. Levi just turned weekly. Cool beans. Decor Wood. Okay, whatever. Decor woohoo. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, wonderful. Okay. How about Hershey? Ooh, pro Bitcoin. HSY. Gotta love Hershey. Interesting. Take a look at this one. Whoops. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Perfect. Perfect. I love that right there. The high of the year is here. The bottom of the year is here. She's definitely going up. Great. I love that. Last 30 days. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. Nope. 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 0, 0, 0, 0. That means if you're wrong, you get nothing. Next week, 50 cents, 0, 10, 0. That makes me a little uncomfortable. Okay, so if I'm going to buy it at 72.70, okay, the 72.50 is right here. It's 165. Hell no, that's not even 1%. That's terrible because look at this. This is like perfect. Look at that. Wonderful, but it's not paying enough. Remember I said, rule 5, make sure all the numbers work. What am I buying it for? 172.72. What am I selling? The 172.50s. I'm paying 165. No, that's not 1%. But I do like Hershey, though. I do. Once in a while, they'll pay a good premium. This time, no. All righty, where are we now? Pre 2 Coca-Cola was up. Come on, great stuff, blah, blah, blah. Melting Pearls. Bet I'll be here. AJ, how are you? Anthony, Yield Max Funds. Hell no, Anthony. Come on. Really, Anthony? Yield Max, Yield Max. I don't know the ticker symbol for Yield Max. Isn't that terrible? I don't invest in it, so why would I know? Melting Pearls, you subscribe? Cool beans. David, how are you doing? David Tool. Street Money. Thank you there, Street Money. Well said. Class X. Okay, thank you there, Class X. CC, how are you? Thank you. 50%. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Street Money, let them cook. Okay, gotta love that one. Veronica, how are you today? JC, Cud XM, what's going on? HG, good advice, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, Cud, Cruiser. Junior GG, that's a good name, Junior GG. Pre-law, thank you. Pinoy Patty, all right. Mac Pickens, how are you today? BP, thank you for that. Uh-oh, D King. Corning. Ooh, we haven't seen Corning in a while. GLW. Nope. Sorry, dude. I don't do the high. Okay? The high's right there. The low's way down here. That's a 50% difference between the bottom and the top. It's way too close to the top for me. Okay, like I said before, there's 10,616 stocks. I love Corning. I do. Just not this week. In fact, let's put Corning down for 3 weeks. It's going to take 2 or 3 weeks. Corning. GLW. GLW. Yay! Put. Brad wants to take a look at put. PUT. CBOE put wire. No options. Sorry, dude. And it's $3,000. What happens if you hit the liquidation dollar amount with these? Liquidate. Okay, superlative, you got to give me a better question than that. Okay, what happens if you hit the liquidation dollar amount with these? That makes no sense at all. Okay, ask the question in a different manner. Use a couple of different words to give me a better idea what we're talking about. All right, what's next? Thank you, Pre-Law. Street Money, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Brad, put on a call calendar spread for DKNG right after earnings expiring February for Super Bowl thoughts. Okay, interesting. DKNG. Call on a calendar spread. Okay, call on a calendar spread. What number are we thinking? DraftKings. Interesting, if you think about it, if you like DraftKings. Okay, here's the high of the year. Here's the low of the year just the other day. Here's where it was a year ago. Here's where it is now. Okay, she was up, pulls back, up, pulls back, up, drops like a rock, now going back up again. So we're at $30.50. Okay. Why would you do a calendar spread? Hold on. Okay. Now, Brad, I do calendar spreads, but I'm not going to do one here tonight only because they can get confusing, number one. Number two, you're looking for a way out in the future, and I'm not quite understanding why you want to do that. Think about it. Because a calendar spread, I'm assuming you want to go out into February, which would be right here, 101 days out. Okay, so a calendar spread, the 30-50, which is the closest one you can do is the 30. Okay, so instead of spending $30.50 per share, you're paying $4.10 per share just for the right to buy, which means you don't own it, you don't get the dividends, and you don't get anything else other than the right to buy it at $30 between now and February 20th. Okay, well, you can do covered calls, calendar spreads. Okay, so this week calendar spread for the 30 is going for 90. That's nice. Next week is going for 137. That's nice also. There's a lot of time and effort involved in calendar spreads. More risk, more reward. But also remember, a calendar spread, both this option and the other option way down here, this one, is slowly going to decay to zero. And you cannot do a calendar spread in an IRA. So it's not as safe as a covered call. Now, I understand calendar spreads pay more, but if you're wrong, they also hurt. And they can't, it takes, I used to do a lot of them, and I'd have to do, for every one that I lost, I'd have to win 3 just to break even. So I don't really do that many calendar spreads anymore. Mike wants to take a look at AT&T. Trent, how are you doing today? Centrifugal. Good evening. All right, so Mike wants to take a look at AT&T. Ooh, now that looks cool. Here's your high, here's your low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, now she's going up 25. This week's 25 is going for 32, but I'm losing 18, so not that one. This one here, 48, I'm losing 18, I'll walk away with 30. Yep, that one would work. Let's do AT&T. Remember, we're looking for one more because we've already got 4. Okay, look at your last 30 days. You tell me, what do you think? 30 days ago, we're here, okay? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So we're definitely, the bottom's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 days to the upside, we're at 25.18. Well, that looks pretty damn good. Not for this week, but for next week. Let's check it out. Let's get rid of this. Let's go right here. Covered stock, blah, 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 blah. The 25. There we go. One contract at the market. There we go. And here's Johnny. Buy one covered call of T, which is AT&T. 21 November, that's next Friday. The $25 call option. Now, why am I buying it at $25.18 and selling it at $25, bringing in $25, $2,400? That's right around 1%. Maybe we should do the 25.50s. Hold on, let's check it out. Check out the numbers. Clear this. 25.50s the profit divided by 24.75 gives a grand total of 1%. For a week and a half? No. Hold. Let's change this to 25.50. Same thing. Oh, now we're getting $50. All right. Same thing. One call, buy one covered call, AT&T, 21 November. That's next Friday. The 25.50 call for next Friday. It's $50. It's still costing $2,500. That's going to be over 2%. Let's check this one out. Okay, $50 is the profit divided by the investment, $2,500. Grand total of 2%. What's wrong with 2%? I like 2%. And it's AT&T. So how the hell can you say no to AT&T? Think about it. I can say no to a lot of things, but AT&T, they've been around for over 100 years. Come on. There we go. And how much was it? 2%. There she is right there. This is number 5 for the day. AT&T, 21 November, the 25.50 call option. 50 bucks is the profit, 2,500 is the investment. Let's get out of there. Oops. Ooh, I did that again. I did it too much. %. And there we have it. Our 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for today. 5 for yesterday. 6 for Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay. We got 1.5 on Pepsi. We got 1.3 on ConocoPhillips. 1.7 on Altria. 2.8 on Levi's. And 2% on AT&T. Now, have you heard of each one of those companies? I've heard of all. Every single one I've heard of. All right. We are 10 minutes out. What kind of questions do we have? We got our 5 for the day. Ooh, let's do this. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, Nico, Tractor Supply. TSCO. Okay. Now, I believe we looked at Tractor Supply a couple of days ago. TSCO. Ooh, nice. Take a look at that, Nico. Your high, your low, down, up, down, up. Look at this. 55.94. The 56s are going 50. Oh, no. Not 1%, dude. Sorry. The chart looks good, but the numbers don't look that good. All right, so what do we have over here? Mikey, how are you, too? JFM, how are you? Pre-log, can we take a look at Nokia? Now we got 9 minutes left, dude. Sorry. So we'll have to take a look at it tomorrow. I'll be back here again tomorrow. That's old school. What's the story? Is fear more important? Uh-oh. That's old school. What's the story? Is fear more important? That makes no sense at all, dude. Terribly sorry. Christina, I love Intel. We'll take a look at it tomorrow. What stock were you describing? Okay, minor. We just looked at 5 decent ones. Cherish Soul Mini. Good evening. Skip. James, can we please check out Suncor Energy? Isn't that S-U-N? No. S-U-N is Sunoco. S-U-N. No. Well, I have no idea what Suncor is. Okay. They don't want to show you. CC, what are we talking about? So CC says they don't want to show you. Show me what? Cherish, Rocket Labs, Rocket Mortgage, Rocket what? Nokia. All right, really? N-O-K? N-O-K. Whoops. I'm going to do this only because you've been very nice with all of your, what do you call that? Interaction. Questions. Lovely. Okay, so what is it you find so appealing about this? Okay, pre-law. Think about it. Okay. Last year, we're like $3. Now we're at $6. So that's like 100% increase. But look what happened. It went up, it went down, it went up, it went down. Now we're at $6.90, $7. So this week, 1%. Next week, almost 3%. If you like Nokia, which I don't. Let's go to Yahoo Finance and see how profitable has Nokia been over the last 20 years. N-O-K. Let's check it out. See if he's right. See if pre-law is right. Is he spending his money properly? I'm going to say hell no. Okay, we got a couple of things missing here. Ready? See what we're missing? 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Once a year. They pay once a year. That's it? Oh, nothing in 2020. Missing 2020. All right, let's go back up to here. Okay, here's where I have a minor problem. Pre-law. You ready? I got a problem with this pre-law. You ready? 2005, 43. 45. That's nice. 56. That's nice. 83. That's nice. Higher, higher, higher. What's this? 54. Lower. 48. Lower. Not good. Okay, 57 higher, 25 lower, 51 higher, 15. 15. It goes from 83 down to 15. Down to 5. Oh, hell no. Sorry, dude. Numbers just don't work. There's 10,616 companies. What's so good about this one that makes you like it so much? All right, what else do we have? What else do we have? Hey, Vinod, what's happening? CRF. Let's take a look at CRF. CRF. Cornerstone total return. No options. Sorry, dude. No options. Okay, when I said weekly options, CRF has no options at all. That's going to be a no. Okay, so pre-law, I looked at Nokia. It's going to be a no. Sorry, dude. Not for me. If you like it, you do it. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, pre-law, we already did applied materials. Oh, nice breakdown. Thank you. Baltimore, how are you doing? Arias, good evening. Kate, Kings, Aristocrats, Champions, Contenders, and Warren Buffett. Right on the money. Giovanni, how are you doing? Johnny, be good. What's going on? Scammer Destroyer. Ooh, gotta love that one. Website noted. Thank you. Dustin, how are you? 3 Native West Boca. UPS. UPS. Yeah, I'm going to say no to UPS only because they get this big gap right there. You got a gap like that, that's going to fill, which means this baby's going to come down. And it's not looking that great right here either. Sorry. Paul, James, can I get a shirt, please? Been paid member for 9 months. I must have a shirt before New Year. Send me the information. Okay, Paul? Because I need to know what shot. You know what I'm going to do, Paul? I'm going to send you one with pink one with yellow with purple polka dots. Joe just bets. Can you look at Wally World? Ooh, WMT. I gotta love me some Wally World. Ooh, nice. Take a look at that. Joe came up with Wally World. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. 110 is the high. We're now at 103. We got plenty of space right there. Okay, so let's take a look. 103, we look at the 104s. 2, that's more than 2%. Let's do a bonus. This will be the last one. Okay, gonna do a bonus one on what the hell is this? Wally World. Okay, so 103.44. We're gonna look at the 104s for next week. Oops, no. I almost hit the wrong button. Covered stock 104s right there. One contract right there. At the market, there we go, and here we go. Buy one covered call, Walmart, 21 November, the next Friday, 104, call option against Walmart, 315. 315 is the profit. 10 G's is the investment. Remember, I am creating weekly cash producing assets. So if I do Walmart, I can get a nice return every single week after week after week. Think about it. Walmart's been around for a while. All right. So, calculator, 315 divided by the investment, 10 G's and 85 little ones. Grand total of 3. Oh, hell, this ding, 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 ding. We got a winner. We do, 3.1%. 3.1% for me. 3.1. 3.1. All right. And, all right. Where is it? There it is right there. Wally World. Yay! Walmart. 21 November. That's next Friday. 104 call option. 315 is the profit. 10 G's is the investment. So I'm going to drop 10 G's. Get 3.1% this week alone. for Walmart. We all know who Walmart is. Invest, buy it, don't buy it, it's up to you. Back. I said 3.1%. All right, this is the last one. I'm done for the night. Right down there. Uh-oh. It disappeared on me. Uh-oh. That's not a good thing. There it is. All right, I'm not going to touch it. All right, let's do a quick recap. What did we come up with tonight? We came up with 1.5 for Pepsi, 1.3 for ConocoPhillips, 1.7 for Altria, 2.8 for Levi's, 2% for AT&T, and ding, 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 the winner tonight is going to be Wally World, 3.1% for 1 week. Now, remember, these are not tips. These are not recommendations. These are only observations by stocks that you asked me to take a look at. Okay? So, don't be pointing the finger in my direction. Number one, never pick a stock you do not want to own long term. Number two, never sell at a loss. Number three, make sure the company's consistently profitable. Number four, weekly options only. Rule number 5, make sure all the numbers work. What? Not this. I don't want to see this. Hold on. Rule number 5, what am I buying it for? What am I selling? What am I collecting? Is that more than 1%? It's a yes or a no. Numbers don't lie. That being said, we're past 11 o'clock. Have a great night, everyone. We're going to do this all over again tomorrow. Imagine that. Do the exact same thing tomorrow. Every single night, same thing. But we're going to pick up new stocks tomorrow. So what makes sense to you? You've got to figure out. Number 1, does it make sense? Number 2, do I like this company? Let me quickly see how many questions I can breeze through. Lonnie, how are you doing? Daddy Bear. FMC, we'll take a look at it tomorrow. Pre-law, thank you. That's it. They don't make dinner. That's a funny one. Vino, how are you today? Coastal MJ, take a look at tomorrow. Tomorrow's another day. Mimi, how are you doing this evening? You're relatively new here. Mr. Kaylee, enjoy your evening. Sean, how are you doing? Mimi, how are you? Liz, how are you? Kirk, Nice. Kate, CTAS didn't look good today. Toffer, Dividend King's website, never even heard of it. Genghis Khan, how are you today? CC, Bruno, good evening, Bruno. Epic Trending, how are you? That's very considerate of you, thank you. All right, risk, title, Mike. Title, Luis Cruz, how are you today? Risk tolerance, yep. Drig, do you have a class I can sign up for? Now, Drig, I promise I wouldn't try to sell anyone anything. I did, I promise. I'm not going to try to sell anything. You asked the question, do I have a class? Yes, I do. I'm not trying to sell it to you, but I do. Go up to you got 2 choices. 1, go up to the top left corner, with the bio, DM me your phone number. I'll give you a buzz. We can chat. Also, up in the bio, it gives you the website. The website will take you to where you want to go if you want to sign up. And I promise I'm not going to try to sell anything. He asked me a question. I'm just answering him directly. How do you do the stock options? Oh, Scott, same thing. Send me your number. I'll give you a buzz. Okay? Nice analogy. You like that one, Pre-Law? Skeesh. Interesting name. Andrea Rimeter. How are you doing? Okay. Pick Filet. How you doing? Johnny D, what's going on? Vino, what website are you showing? Okay, say, Vino, this is not a website. This is a trading platform. Trading platform is owned by Charles Schwab. We call him Chucky. Okay, Pre-Law Nokia, we already looked at that one. Ooh, Farm Man, Alcoa. I love Alcoa. I do. Scott, how you doing? Jay Fines, how are you? Tariq Cooper, how are you doing? Yes, I know Pre-Law what Nokia is. Benny, how you doing? Johnny A. Alex, good evening. Dope investing. Okay. Odom, thank you for that. Cree, do you do puts? Yes, I do, but I only give away one trading strategy, and I just did the whole thing, so maybe tomorrow night. Yeah, Mini Beast Modem. Yep, we're talking about that. Side Hustle 444, how are you doing? Okay. Wow, I guess still got more questions. Hurricane Hoodie, good evening. Superlative, Shopperlative. I'm still not clear on your current Macy's trade, why it's so negative, and the amount of money to liquidation. We can take a look at that one tomorrow, okay? Because we're past 11 and it is. Weekly dividends. Yeah, I have no idea where you get that idea from, okay? I don't know of any company that pays weekly dividends. Weekly options is one thing. Weekly dividends, never heard of it. What is CRF? It shows very high dividend. It does, but no, thank you. CRF just doesn't work for me. Mike, love how he handles it. Brolio. I'm a professional here in private equity in LA. Manage 23 million at 7 p.m. Take a break, enjoy life. All right, Brolio, thank you very much. 23 mil, huh? Good for you. Brian, DVM, we'll take a look at that one tomorrow. Nunya Beeswax. YMAG, take a look at the numbers, dude. You might change your mind. Brian, Mara, take a look at it tomorrow. Thank you there, Pre-Law. James, we love how you handle yourself. Thank you. Okay, Brian Abelmal, love that one also. Okay, Vino, we looked at CRF. It was a no. Victoria, how are you today? Amber, good evening. Driggs, Dynex Capital. Okay, Briggs, I've never heard of Dynex Capital. If you want to take a look at it, we'll look at it tomorrow. Josie, we already looked at AT&T. It was a yes. Ms. Christie, how are you today? Oh, I missed some questions. I missed some questions. SCHD, oh, hell no. Pre-law, I do. The other companies were AMT, Pepsi, we discussed earlier. Yep. SPYG. Okay, we already looked at this one. If you want to put in your IRA, hey, more power to you. I don't do it only because it's not consistently profitable. There are other companies that are out there that are better than SPYG. Just my opinion. But what the hell do I know? Sing Sang. Yeah. XUAUSD. Those are Forex. Yeah, I don't do Forex. Tried it years ago. No, thank you. Jamil, how are you today? Tiger Sniper. Yeah, we already looked at that one. Okay, Sing Sang. I don't do Forex. Sorry. Jane, how are you doing, Jane Nora? Kurt, we'll take a look at Arch tomorrow. SCHD, hell no. Saeed, how are you today? Hitting those notes. Thank you. Voice of... not that... Yeah, alrighty. Tyler, Mike, how you doing? Twisted Pasta, how's it going? No problem at all, thank you. Vino, Thinkorswim, yep. Oh, thank you, sir. Wonderful. Vino, thank you. Cornerstone Total Return Fund, CRF. Yeah, I know who they are. Take a look at the numbers, Vino. Seriously, go take a look at the numbers. Are they consistently profitable or are they not? I bought Lowe's, so I was curious. Appreciate your time very much. All right, you're welcome. You're ready. Woohoo! I see exactly what you're saying. Thank you. Okay, I have 5,000 shares of Wendy's. Uh-oh. We can take a look at Wendy's tomorrow if you want. I'm here every night. That meant a lot. You would help me look at the breakdown. Thank you. You're welcome. Vino, thank you for looking at that. You're welcome. Okay, Wendy's. Yes, I know who Wendy's is. Andy, Disney. We'll take a look at it tomorrow. Hey, 86 is in the house. What's happening, dude? Sean, my first session. Much thanks. Learned a lot. Where do I start if I'm very elementary? Well, you basically start here. You keep coming back, keep asking questions, or you can, if you want, go to the website. It's in the top left-hand corner. And just find your way around. I promise I'm not going to try to sell anyone anything, so I'm not going to try to sell you anything. But that's where you'd find it if you were interested. All right. Greg Tucker, how are you? Firefighter, how are you doing? Paul Godward, How are you doing, sir? I love it here. Thank you very much for the stream. Hope everyone has a beautiful night. You too, Charles Swab. Thank you. Pick-fil-A, are you letting the options expire or closing it soon after? Okay, Pick-fil-A, that's a great question. Okay, I get it once once a month. Okay, that question. Now, most options, I either, because you gotta remember one thing, Pick-fil-A. I look at I gotta put my slippers back on, my toes are getting cold. All right. Anonymous, go to sleep. I got play. All right, here's one. Anonymous, you ready for this? Anonymous says go to sleep. Okay? Okay, ready? This is for you specifically, Anonymous. You ready? I'll get plenty of sleep when I'm dead. Who knows what movie that came from? Anyone? Somebody's got to know. Have a great night. Thank you, Vino. So, Pick-fil-A, are you letting the options expire or closing them too soon? All right, soon after. Okay, so Pick-fil-A, when I say create a new routine in the morning, okay, so tend to your money. Whether you do it in the morning, whether you do it in the afternoon is really irrelevant. But you really need, this is just a suggestion. If you're concerned about your retirement, are you going to have enough money to live comfortably when you retire? Okay, you got to keep an eye on what your money is doing on a consistent basis. So every day, I usually buy on Mondays, and Fridays I usually sell. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I just take a look at my account. What did I buy? What did I sell? Where's it at now? What does it mean? What should I do next? Sometimes I'll let them expire worthless. Sometimes I'll roll them forward. Sometimes I'll just let them go. Each and every day, I take a look at my position. It's kind of like watering my garden or feeding my cat. I don't have a cat, but you know what I mean. Something I do every single day. And it only takes 5 to 10 minutes. Think about it. 5 to 10 minutes to learn something that can give you 1% per week. Now, 1% per week does come to 50% per year. So if you got 50 grand in your account, we're talking 25 grand. If you had 100,000 in your account, we're talking 50 grand. Okay, if you do it right and pay attention. The rules are simple. Never buy something you don't want to own. Never sell at a loss. Make sure the company's profitable. Weekly options, and make sure the numbers work. It's really that simple. You do these options within an IRA? No. Side hustle, I have a corporate account. Okay, so my corporate account is taxed differently. It's handled differently. So it's a whole different thing. So when you're trading, you can trade your account any way you want. You can put it into a trust, a family trust. You can put it into a foundation. You can put it into a corporation. You can put it in an offshore trust. You can do anything you want. You just got to follow the rules, whatever the rules are for whatever it is you want to do. And that's a challenge, trying to figure out, well, what do I want to do? That's something only you can figure out. We're going to got a few more questions left. Let's do this. Oh, whoa, look at that. I am done. Great reference. Thank you, Pre-Law. Do you pick stocks every day? Nope. Okay. Okay, Hayes. You're new here, Hayes. I haven't seen that name before. Okay, Hayes, what I do. All right, every week we take a look. It just so happens that this week, hold on a second. It just so happens that this week, there's 10,616 different companies. Guess you didn't see mine. Kate, I saw a couple of questions that you asked. Ask it again real quick before I leave. So I'll get to it as I'm answering Hayes' question. So Hayes, what I'm looking for specifically are companies that are consistently profitable year after year after year after year. Okay, there's over 10,616 companies to choose from. So I take a look at only the companies that are consistently profitable for 2 decades. Once I get those companies, I put them into a calendar because a dividend stock pays a dividend consistently every 90 days. So every 90 days, I'm looking at the calendar, and the calendar tells me what stock am I looking at this week. So I take a look at all the stocks for this week, and I find out which one is the best place for my money. Now, if I'm only looking at those stocks that are profitable, okay, And I do check out the numbers to make sure they're profitable. And I also check out the numbers. What is the book value? What is the revenue per share? All that kind of stuff. Once I do that, I don't have to look at them again. I put them on my calendar. When they come up, boom, I do it. Okay, Kate, got to ask me that question again before I leave. Is 11,000 enough to enter a contract on a few of these King dividends? Okay, side hustle. I started out with 12,000. What was it in the 1990s? I started with 12,000. You start with 11. Hey, it's not that bad. Today is Zoe's birthday. Yay! I got $20 for a stock from my mom, and she wanted me to tell you. Yay! Now, Kate, my question is Zoe doing Robinhood in the dividend capturing, or is she trying to do covered calls? Because for Zoe, it would probably be better for Zoe to do dividend capturing and start off small and work her way up. We have E-Trade. Ugh. You like that one, Kate? Ugh. Okay, Kate, the reason why I say that is I wrote a book about 15 years ago, choosing the right trading platform for your needs. Just got Robinhood, though. Yeah, you'll like Robinhood because it's right there on your phone. It's simple. It's easy. And you can do fractional shares. So if she got $20, well, then you could take that $20, put 5 into one, 5 in another, 5 in another, 5 in another. And as they move up, just sell them or roll them into the next week. It's called dividend capturing. It's simple. It's easy. I am going to create another website specifically for someone such as yourself who has children, grandparents and grandchildren. Okay. See, me and my grandson, we do it about once a month. Okay. He comes over, we do a show. We go through all the changes I came up with and we put it into his trading account. Okay. So it's not huge, but think of it this way. Okay. This is me. That's the ex-wife. There's the in-laws. Okay. So it's me, ex-wife, the in-laws. Okay. My son and my daughter-in-law. So between the 6 of us, we take our change that we come up for the week, throw it together, and we put it into my grandson's account. And then from there, make the trades according to when they have their dividend. So I want to jump in, get that small little profit, jump out, move on to the next one. The funny thing is, every day, well, let's do this. Let's go right there. Let's do this right there. Go back this way, do this, okay, right there. Okay, take a look at this. Okay, what is that? About 15, 3, 11, 10, 47, 52, about 20, about 15, 42, 71, 82, about 18, about 20, 105, 47, 60, nothing. That's Thanksgiving. There's nothing that day. But look at all the companies. All of these little dots represents companies that are paying a dividend. You're just going to find out when is the right time to jump in. Grab that dividend, jump out, make sure you make that little time. It doesn't have to be a big profit. But remember, Zoe is only what, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old? Okay, when she gets to 18, if she consistently does this, $10, $20, every month, every couple of months, whatever. When she gets older, she's 7 now. Cool. 7's awesome. Okay? So $20 now, okay? Have her do some chores around go around the neighborhood, pick up trash, rake leaves, stuff like that. Get a few bucks here, a few bucks there. Go to junkyard. Here's a good one for you. Go to junkyards, look under the seats, look in the ashtrays for loose change. Whatever she has to do to earn her own money, to do her investments, that's awesome. That's great. Good for you. Okay, so that being said, holy cow, we're 20 minutes past the hour. All right, so you guys have a great day, and we're going to do this all again tomorrow. Thank you for helping her. Keep that excitement. Yay! Thank you there, Jeff. You guys have a great day. You guys over here, we're going to see you again tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning. Have a great night. And here we go. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, appreciate your time, sir. Be well until tomorrow. Take care. Oh, where are we? My friends, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, for which I'm certain